There are pros, cons, and closing cost considerations when it comes to buying a sponsor unit in New York City. First-time homebuyers will often be confused by the term sponsor as it relates to buying a sponsor unit in New York City. The sponsor is simply the developer or builder of a new construction or redevelopment project. Technically, a sponsor is the original holder of the unsold co-op shares or unsold condo units in a building. Once an apartment is sold from the original sponsor to a buyer, any subsequent sale is considered to be a resale as opposed to a sponsor sale. What is a sponsor unit? A sponsor unit refers to an apartment that is owned or being sold directly by the original developer or builder. This can range from freshly constructed new development condos to decades-old sponsor co-op units that were previously being rented out. A sponsor unit in New York City will look no different than a normal resale apartment online. The only difference will be who the seller is. The seller of a sponsor apartment is the original developer or builder, whereas the seller in a resale is whomever purchased that apartment last. If you're thinking of buying a sponsor unit, you can estimate your buyer closing costs in New York City using Hauseit's interactive closing cost calculator, available at www.hauseit.com. You can also save money on your purchase by requesting a Hauseit buyer closing credit. What are the advantages of buying a sponsor apartment in New York City? The biggest advantages of buying a sponsor unit in New York City are privacy and convenience. Many New Yorkers are loath to complete the onerous and extremely invasive co-op purchase application. Even condo purchase applications can be delusional these days and ask for multiple reference letters. However, one of the perks of buying a sponsor unit in New York City is that you can skip the standard sales application and co-op board interview altogether. Forget about telling your neighbors about every detail of your net worth and personal and professional biography, including any LLCs and secret societies you are a member of. Keep in mind, just because you can skip the regular co-op purchase application board package doesn't mean you can avoid filling out any forms at all. You may still have to fill out a much simpler, often single-page form about yourself for the sponsor to have on file. However, it'll be nothing like the nightmare you may encounter with some co-op and condo board applications. What are the disadvantages of buying a sponsor apartment in New York City? The primary downside to buying a sponsor unit in New York City is the fact that buyer closing costs are higher compared to what you'd pay on a traditional purchase. That's because it's customary for the buyer of a sponsor unit to cover the New York City and New York State transfer taxes of 1.4% to 2.075% and possibly other closing costs, such as the sponsor's attorney fees. These closing costs are customarily covered by sellers for traditional non-sponsor sales. The other potential downside to buying a sponsor unit in New York City is shoddy construction. This risk is especially acute if you're buying a sponsor unit from a small-time developer or otherwise inexperienced builder who doesn't come with a proven track record. Small-time developers are more liable to cut corners during construction or use shoddy materials because they may not be in it for the long haul. As a result, it may be a good idea to get a home inspection done for a new construction purchase.